because, right, even though you might not want to hear this, we all know that it's a man's world, and
What?
yes,
Who run the world?
and well, that's according to Beyonce, right? But we all know that, and that's the that is the narrative that that it's being changed, because before now, the truth is, it was a man's world. We had the times where women couldn't go to school because there were women. We had where roles could not, like certain things, women wouldn't do certain things even though they are capable of doing it. And so to change that narrative, the attention had to shift on empowering women to, first of all, even believe in themselves that they can do it, and then give them those opportunities and allow them to thrive, right? So that was the genesis of the whole equality. But then we have instances where, even though the world tried to move to an extent to embrace allowing women to do things and all of that, but it wasn't still there, or we're not yet fully there yet. So rather than saying, okay, give a man and a woman a chance, when we know deep within that people will still want to stereotype in their minds unconsciously. So how about we just try to encourage again, give a woman like a hand, just a little. So it's like
A little push.
you get. So it's like there's a target to reach, and then a man is standing, and maybe, let's say, two people, one is shorter, and just for lack of better example, and the other one is taller, right? So how about we put in some maybe, let's say, stack of woods or stones or something, just to help the shorter one get to the same level with. So that's where the call for equity comes in. So yes, we know that they both can do, but how about we help the one that needs help? So that's why the Embrace Equity has been trending for, I think, more than 5 years.
Several questions in my mind, but I'm going to leave that so we don't get into some debates. Councillor Rita, what do you think about the way that we, Nigeria, because we have to bring this back home, that we have fared with giving women equal opportunities and also respecting women? I love to take this to the workspace. We've seen situations where people say, "Oh, we don't earn what our male counterparts earn. We're not allowed to get to certain positions and certain roles. We're not allowed to take certain roles, even in organizations when we have all the qualification and what's required. We're not allowed to attain certain positions." Looking at that, especially in the last 5 years, would you say that we have fared better? Coming out of that place where women would say we cannot, or we're not allowed to do these things?
Not a question, Raja. Thank you, Lord. Am I going to narrow this question to what is going on in Nigeria?
Yes, please. As much as possible. If you can personalize it, please personalize it, and let's get the facts.
Of the last 5 years, let me take like in the government, how many women are there in the National Assemblies? How many women are there in the State House? How many women are there? How many women's voice are we hearing? Okay, for the past election that just happened, how many women really came out to say, okay, I want to come out for this? Does it mean that there are no women with this capacity to rule, to lead, to guide? There are.
But the debate has always been that women do not put themselves forward, and then even when they put themselves forward, the other women do not support them, to get them to those positions.
Yeah, that's I can say that's one part of the argument. But what about the area where these women come up and the men feel, oh, you mortal woman, your place is in the kitchen or in the other room, so you don't need an office to. In fact, you don't have a voice to say anything.
You're taking us where we don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just asking, I'm trying to bring, because that's what I actually said. Should I now start talking of what is going on around us?
Absolutely.
Because these things are clearing, and we seem not to really talk about it. Seem really not to look at it in that angle. So there are so many women that really want to come out, and the opportunity is not being given to them to come out. And some that try to emerge, you find out that they have been frustrated by the men counterparts to the point that they will really run back to their high place, which we assume is the kitchen. You understand? So
My daughter's place is not in the kitchen.
the woman's place shouldn't be in the kitchen. Like where my colleague here just talk about the equality. It's more of there should be that equality, because I'm coming in the place of, you know, as a human development, as far as I try to study the dynamism of human development, I found out that we are all created equally. You are a spirit, soul, and body, and every woman have a spirit, soul, and body. So if you can do this, a woman can do that. Like I always said, I'm one of the women that said, I don't say what a man can do, a woman can do much more in all aspects. I don't say that. I always said what a woman can do mentally, psychologically, emotionally, a man can do, or a woman also can do much more, but not in the physical exercise, like a physical power. I cannot compare my power with you, because the muscle God used in creating you is higher than I. As a woman is like a weaker vessel, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the area a man comes as a protector, as a nurturer, to nurture this woman to become that person that God has made for her to be, not to bring her down. So if I really want to answer that question, it has not been equal.
It hasn't been. So you don't think there's that
equality
equity?
has not been equal with the woman.
But I guess that's where equity comes in. And I also think that politically, the women have been bullied. I like to use that word because I have instances. So I remember that why Pauline Tallen wanted to run for Senate was because the woman that was then the senator was physical. In fact, she was bullied in all her sense, bullied politically. She was bullied. I don't know about spiritually because I'm not in the spiritual
Household.
realm.
I mean, at the
But
National
it got
Assembly,
to the level.
At the National Assembly,
Yes.
people are equal. I mean, the equals at the National Assembly. I mean,
So
who bullies who
so
at
you
the National
understand. So
Assembly?
I get you get the point, right? So the they wanted her to leave the seat for a man.
Okay.
And it was so much that even her convoy was attacked, like physical attack, right? Got to an extent where, well, they had their chance, and the current governor, ran for the seat. And so that was even why Pauline Tallen wanted to go out and run for that seat, because she felt, okay, if you are not going to let her run, then I will run, right? So let's face it, right? The truth is women get bullied politically, even though I think that women are not doing enough. I think that rather than sit down and wait for favors and extra privileges, how about we just actually give the men a run for their money in this case? So for instance, if a man is running, a woman should brace up and run, because truth be told, if a man is running for any political office, it's not a walk in the park for the man. And so I think women should also like empower themselves to stay strong and fight strong, because let's stop expecting it to be easy, because it's never easy. So I think that's where we're getting it wrong. We think that, okay, because I'm a woman, you have to favor me. Meanwhile, they don't favor the men to be in all of those positions. So I think that women should brace up. If we say we want to do this, we should encourage ourselves and do it well.
Well, speaking of equity and even political relevance for women and all that stuff, recall that last year there was a bill before the National Assembly, the gender bill that was before the National Assembly, and it failed the bill, and women came out to protest. But it seemed like after a while the whole protest just went down. No one is protesting that. And this bill seeks for 35% of the positions at the National Assembly being ceded to women, and also to have 25% affirmative action, for leadership of the parties and political parties. Now, are women still in this drive to see that they are given these positions and they hold on to? I mean, hold their grounds or stand their grounds to say we must get this, because what that would mean would be that in the 10th assembly these bills would come back alive, and the advocacy would continue.
So you see what is paining me in this recent concluded elections, right? How many women got into the 10th assembly? The percentage is very low. In fact, this particular election, the percentage of women participation dwindled, right? So, and the truth is, if we're not there, who fights for us? Because if care is not taken, this bill will still not see the light of day, because the people who should have represented it are not even there, right? And I also think that, not to underestimate or undermine the work that has been done by other women, but I think that it's high time we knew that protest hardly works in Nigeria. You are heard, but the end result is never a given, right? So I think if I would do something differently, I'll change strategies. Maybe lobby some more. Maybe enlighten the people some more. Enlighten also other women who are influential. These men that are in the assembly have wives at home and they listen to them. So how about we change strategy and see if it works? Because protesting in Nigeria, well, yes, you'll be heard, but I don't know if we've ever had results from it.
From the protests?
Yes.
Seems like they don't really work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can I
Yes, please go on,
comment
Rita.
I always like coming in from my area of professionalism, because I believe success in life is 5% strategy and 95% mindset. The mindset of the majority is that the woman, even including the womanhood, the woman just feel the man is a man's place to lead, is a man's place to direct, is a man's place to give instructions, and my own is to just follow. So many women even believe, in fact, don't speak when a man is speaking. You don't have a voice. What do you know? And some men you see some men will even challenge some women. What do you think you know? Shut up your mouth. And with those kind of mindsets around us, around a woman with so much potential, a woman with so much leadership capacity, with so much solution down there, if that woman doesn't really discover who she is, she will withdraw because of all these other people opinions surrounding her. And especially when she has tried, just like what you quoted there, 35% of the people in the National Assembly supposed to be women. So how many women are there? Are there? You find that just like very few, because most come out and the men force that feel you don't have right to be there, they just gang together and make this woman not to see the light of the day. So the woman should really have this mindset of, I am powerful, I'm good, I am a leader, I am a solution provider, I'm a pace setter. So whatever my man counterpart can do, I can do also. I can bring that solution. I can also lead. I can even lead a country, a nation, to become better than my man's counterpart does. So if we can have this mindset with us, that if somebody tells me, shut up, and I know what I have to say is to bring solution, I will still make my voice to be heard in other aspects. Do you understand? So we need to change our mindset, not just for the woman, but also the man. The man, when we were, my colleague was talking that it's a man's world. You were like, you were
Around
like
the world. I mean, it could be a man's world, but the woman tells us what to do. So
I was now saying that, okay, some people think the woman's place in the kitchen. You were like, my sister place not in the kitchen.
No.
There are men like that. But what about some men that, as I said like that, they will be giving me thumb up? Yes, you are right. The woman's place in the kitchen is a man's world. These are what. So such men have to change their mindset to really accommodate this womanhood and know that there is something great in this womanhood. That if I bring this woman closer, she can be a solution I don't need to compete with her.
But
I don't need to
let's look at this.
subjugate her.
Let's look at
You
it from a
understand?
very looking at this. You know, the Senate, and out of the 101 senators elected, we have just about 2 or 3 female senators. You know, at the moment. So let's hope that the next, when the other 8 are declared, maybe more women will join in. But looking at it, do you think that women are actually like you mentioned earlier, Shafi, where you said women need to do more?
Yeah.
Now, I don't. I'm trying to avoid the word mediocre, but in
No, but it's the
in a
truth.
situation where we have, look, there's nobody that has said we're stopping women from doing anything.
So
Women who have dared have come out great. You know,
yes, I agree.
in Adamawa State, a woman contested for, you know, the seat of is contesting the seat of governorship,
that's Benani.
and Benani, and she's most likely going to win because she fought really hard for
Yeah.
it. So, is there anyone who has really stopped women from becoming what
so
they want
yes,
to
so
become?
let's go back. Let's go back. I tell you that. So it's a fighting chance, right? That is tough on the woman. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
So we already know that society in itself is mostly patriarchal, right? So let's say because of the patriarchy level in Africa, for instance, even in America, let's own it, in the world, right? It suppresses the fighting chance of the woman, so much so that those who come out to fight really have to fight 2 times harder than a man, because 1, you're fighting the mindset. 2, you're fighting what the man would have fought to, because the men fight to get into office, right? They fight. It's as I said, it's not a work in the park, right? But for the woman, the fighting chance is doubled, because she has to fight the mindset that a woman cannot do. She has to fight the fact that she's supposed to take care of her family, her children will suffer. She has to fight the normal fights that men will fight, political rivalry and all of that. She has to fight. So that's why for the woman the fight is almost, it may be threefold, right? But you see, I think that it's time for the woman to change strategies. That's what I think. And just like I said, if we have 101 senators and we have just 2 or 3, or let's say less than 10 female senators, if I were a senator, right, I will probably build a strong relationship between myself and the wives of all of these senators, because now that's the place of lobbying.
Would we be saying, oh, don't run, give your position to a woman?
No,
would that be
no,
fair? And say,
no, we
oh,
will
you
say-
know, in
I'll
the next
say
round
to
of
them-
election, tell your husband not to run.
No,
so that
I'll
other
say
women
I'll
can
say to
run.
them, see, it's strategy. I'll tell them, see, we're fighting for a bill that needs to be adopted, and I need your help in that. How about you convince your husband to vote for you, to vote for your woman? So for me,
Lobbying them.
it's lobbying, and lobbying is accepted globally. It's yes, it's lobbying. And if I think the wives are not doing, I go down to the children. He must listen to someone. That's what lobbying is all about.
Absolutely.
Because protest will not give us results. And at the end of the day, fighting to go and to fight. See, women, how much money do the women have? So if you want to contest for elections in Nigeria, we know you need a huge amount of money. So how much money do women have? Then how much influence do they have? So if you look at all of these things, they actually don't favor the woman at the moment. So for me, I think lobbying is like the strongest
Let's talk
option
about he
right
for
now.
she. Let's talk about, you know, men actually standing up and supporting the cause of women. What do you think of that? Are we doing well in that regard? You know, having men who speak up for women and supports the cause and for, you know, gender equity and the likes.
Well, he for she, I think we're getting there, but we're not there. We're getting there, because at least when we came into the studio and I said it's the man's world, you kind of disagree.
Because
with
I know
me.
that you control.
Right?
I mean, men don't really control anything.
Well,
You
so,
get-
but-
you
but
just
then I
spoke
know
about
that-
you just spoke about the women influencing their husbands.
Yes,
it's
so,
natural.
because you know that, but there are lots of men out there who don't understand that, right? So that's why I said, to an extent, he for she, we're getting there, but we're not there yet, because now we have a wave of men that are beginning to be aware of the woman and the woman's power, and they know that if they empower women, like, let me give you an instance. So this year we're saying digital, right? And I know that for one of the organizations, that's Women in ICT, right? The founder is not even a woman, it's a man. So that's a strong example of he for she. So the president is a woman, other officials, every other person in there is a woman. But guess what? There are few men who are rendering support to the woman. Now that's a clear example of he for she, where men are beginning to understand, to get aware, and to kind of support the woman. If you look at the bill, right? The bill was almost there. If you look at it, it was almost there. But was it women that took it to almost there? No. There were men who understood that the woman needs this chance, right? So he for she, we're getting there, but we're not there yet.
All right. Well, you want to add something, Rita?
Yeah, I still want to re-emphasize because all this we are surrounding with what I'm still trying to say, that we need to change our mindset. You know, the he for she is possible if the many or majority of the men can really come up and join the few that are saying, yes, a woman place need to be recognized. You know, beyond being a wife, beyond being a female child, beyond being a daughter, she's also a leader. It's a mindset. It's just the flip of the other side of the coin. She's also a leader. Let's support her. Do you understand? So it's the mindset. If the mindset is well changed, do you know the rate of lobby can be minimized? Because some lobby in the midst of it, will take you to bribe, to take you to either backslash or say anything or try to be who you
Sexual
are not.
harassment is also something there.
So, yeah, that's true.
So the mindset, but if the mindset is really changed, you own up and clearly stand, said, I support this proposal. I support this movement. Do you understand? Just like she said, I don't believe protesting or protest is, we can get anything out of it. But, I believe in courageous discussion. A courageous discussion where you can listen to me. I listen to you. And you now know where is she coming from? And you now stand by me. That's what I see as courageous discussion, where people can still be heard without being violent about it, okay? So the he for she is very possible if most mindsets can be changed.
Do you know, sorry, Prince, I want to say something, right? There's something she said that I liked, but I agree only to an extent, right? I remember at some point I had issues with when I was graduating from school. And, I'm a graduate of literature. So my head of department said to me, if you don't solve this problem, I'm going to be sad, because I taught you the role of women in African literature. And, he didn't say more than that, but I understood what he said. When you go back to history lane and you look at, let's take, for instance, Sundiata of Mali, let's take Shaka the Zulu, all of those ancient heroes, women had a strong role in, first of all, their development, who they became, how they fought, and all of that. And so, if a woman, funny enough, I just wish every woman would understand the power she has. Because if a woman understands the power she has, I think that the woman is capable of taking the world. Because let's be honest, every man has a woman that is his weakness.
No, I don't know. I don't think. I do not have any weakness. I mean,
yeah,
very strong.
you're just saying
sorry,
it. Yeah, just saying it. I don't want to.
I'm
I
not
don't
one
want
of those
to
men
be,
that has any weakness.
Yes,
No.
I don't. Okay, so let's leave it as an assumption, right?
Okay,
Yes. So
it's okay
well,
to
so
assume.
if you say no, why did Shaka the Zulu kill his mother? Why? Because he noticed that anything if he was going to fight a war or anything, if they speak to her, they've gotten to him. And that was like the peak of who he wanted to be, how powerful he wanted to be, so much that he took her life, right? Sundiata had the same issue, because it's the truth. If it's not your mother, if you don't have a soft spot for your mother, you have a soft spot for your daughter, you have a soft spot for your wife. Do you understand? And so, if the woman understands the power she has, right? If the woman understands, so it's God, there are some things I don't want to say.
I'm not a preacher of love. I'm not a preacher of love.
But the thing, my point here is that if the woman understands, just like you said, that who runs the world, right? You said it yourself. If the woman understands the power she has to influence, even without giving sex as a bait, right? The way God has created you is already appealing. What you do with it is left for you, right? So even if the woman begins to understand that, I don't even need to throw out all of this bait. I already have, for lack of better word, an advantage that can give me results.
Say that again.
For lack of better words.
The conversation continues here on your radio experience. You can count on it. It's International Women's Day, and we've been talking about women and how they make the world a better place, and how we can also make the world a better place for them. I've been speaking with Dr. Shafi Bello, who is a journalist and as well communications and media consultant. Also here is Councillor Rita Bassi, personal development expert as well as author and mentor. She's talking with us this morning, so keep it with us. We'll come back to take your thoughts and responses, to all that we've been talking about right here on your radio experience. You can count on
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Me, I'm not afraid of that man.
Me too.
What can he really do?
I hope you people are discussing about paying me my rent.
Oga landlord, calm down. We are discussing about the upcoming elections.
Nonsense. Don't tell me to calm down. Your mates are at the Akamata Community Square selling their votes for 5,000 naira. But you are here doing what I don't know.
Oga landlord, do you know that 5,000 naira spread over the next 4 years is just 4 naira per day? Is this what we should sell our votes for? God forbid.
Oga landlord, wise up. We must vote in the right people this time, instead of selling our votes to people who have nothing good to offer our community.
That one is your business. You ladies better go and collect yours, if that will help you gather my rent at the end of the month. Do not listen to people like this landlord. Election is not a business venture. It is your civic duty to your country to help elect the right leaders who will create a better life for you and a great future for your children. Do not sell your future. Do not sell your vote. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the MacArthur Foundation.
For so long, you've been silenced. We have just found your voice. Take it, use it.
You assess Nigerians before we become politicians or before we become member of any political party. The kind of things that happen in Nigeria, it's so obnoxious that if God looks down from heaven, you realize that we are really paying for our sins.
Speak your truth and be heard on the Eagles Morning Rise, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eagles 102.3 FM, your radio experience you can count on. From Milky Way to Earth, everywhere there's internet, you can connect with Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Log on to our website, www.eaglesfm.com. Follow and engage with us now on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Eagles FM Abuja, Instagram at Eagles FM 1023. Download our apps on your Android and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on.
It's Young John, the wicked producer.
Beauty mama, you know I like you so. See, can't cherish you, I stand for you. I won't lie to you, but I feel like for you. In the night, girl, I'm down for you, girl, I'm down. Oh, you talk to me, oh mama. I'm to choose, girl, I choose you. If I'm to lose, girl, I want to lose with you. They say that taboo, but girl, I see truth in you. You, she walk on it for me. Do you really care? Show me bomb for me, baby. Jamie in the tower. To be sincere, I will do almost anything for you. Anything for you. Yeah, cherish you. I stand for you. I won't lie to you, but I feel like for you. In the night, get up down for you. Get up down. Oh, you talk to me, oh mama. Free you. Balloon for me that you're with you. Baby, all I seek I find it in you. All I seek I find it in you. If I'm to shoot, girl, I'll shoot for you. Ain't gonna kill, baby, just a bullet wound. Prayed about you last night, you get my way. Yeah, I'm a mama liar. If you buy infinity, would you buy for me, oh? When I make activity, would you come for me, oh? Step into the light and let me see your face. See your face. Yeah, cherish you. I stand for you. I won't lie to you, but I feel like for you. In the night, get up down for you. Get up down. Oh, you talk to me, oh mama. Free you. Balloon for me that you're with you. Baby, all I seek I find it in you. 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 Show a kiss. Show a corner for me. Show a corner for me.
Your radio experience, you can count on Eagles 102.3. And this morning on Eagles Outlook, we're celebrating women because it is the International Women's Day today. And, well, the theme has continued to be embrace equity, and they're saying digital this year. And so, well, let's get to talk about that. I've had with me Dr. Shafi Bello, journalist and communications consultant, as well as Counselor Rita Bassi, who is a personal development expert as well as an author and, also a counselor. She's joining us in this conversation. You too can be a part of the conversation this morning. Feel free to celebrate your wife, your daughters, your sisters, everybody in your life as a woman. Feel free to celebrate them. This is the day that we get to celebrate them on a global scale. And it goes beyond today. All right, let the message continue. Let the love and, celebration continue even beyond this particular day. Let's quickly talk about out of school. We cannot talk about digital and talking about empowering women without talking about education. We're going to talk about that shortly, but let's bring in a caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. Is this Haruna?
Yeah, good morning. Good
Welcome.
morning to your guests in the studio.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. We heard what your guests have said. And I think women in my own perspective, first of all, happy International Women's Day. From my own perspective, I think in Africa, women are not they are not considered. They're not given enough qualities in work of place like that. Because I love the way those women are fighting for that, which I believe in future time my children would benefit from that. As I'm talking to you, God has blessed me with 3 girls. That is all I have for now. Wow. So wherever I am, I don't like seeing women being molested, women being looked down on, because they are human as us too. So please, continue the struggle. In grace of God, very soon, women will be recognized in Africa. But I believe it's only Africa women are not recognized. In other client, women are recognized.
It's not just in Africa, I mean. Think about it. U.S. just had its first female vice president, and you know, in over 200 years. So, well, it's not just Africa.
It's all right.
Thank you so much.
I think women deserve a better position.
Absolutely, we agree. Thank you so much for calling, Haruna. Well, the conversation continues. You two can be a part of it. 09073530044 and 09087668888. I want to hear from the ladies. Let's hear you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my friends.
Good morning,
Maiwa. Good
Maiwa.
morning to our women in the studio. I want to say that we celebrate you today, and I pray that all your efforts and your labor will never be in vain. The mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Maiwa, Pastor Maiwa, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The only issue I have is the confusion between gender balance. Capacity of women, because you have repeatedly told us that women have capacity, they have the knowledge, and they can do it. The only thing that I think is in between the line maybe is the resources. But the issue of resources has also been put to rest, even with this election that we just had. That no matter how you look at it, if we have a thought first, gradually you can get there. You don't need to, like the slogan of the particular party, that we don't spend shishi. And they were moving. See, women have the capacity, they have the knowledge, and they have the number. But the only thing I have seen is that women are not ready. Women are not ready. If you are looking for a specific legislation that will make the journey very smooth for you, you may wait forever. The woman, that the vice president in America, did not wait for a specific legislation. They played their role. They were involved in politics. They were politicking. And from there, they make their voice known, and they were considered. In Nigeria today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Adamawa, in Rivers State, we have women who are representing the political party. But let the day of the election come, women will still not go that way. Is it because they don't believe in themselves? If you talk of the number, going by the INEC registration that we have currently, women have significant number. And with women alone, I think they can take over the political seat in Nigeria. Let me limit it to Nigeria. I want to plead with you, as you continue in your advocacy, make sure you are able to convince the women. Wherever women go, wherever mothers go, their children will follow them. Therefore, the ball is in your court. It is for you to play it right. God bless you. God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you, Maiwa. Maiwa is in his spiritual mode today. I love it. Pastor Maiwa, thank you so much. Let's talk about education now. It said that over 20 million children are out of school in Nigeria, and, female make up about over 60% of that number. What can we do to begin to reconfigure this mindset? And it's not just the mindset. Now, I know that we're coming out from the place of culture and tradition, kind of subduing, unintentionally though, because in some cultures, these are things put in place to protect the women. They say we're protecting our women, we're protecting our girl childs, our female children, and so they should not be exposed to certain things, But we're coming out of that place, and it's good. What can we do in the next few years, in the next 5-10 years, to see that these numbers are drastically reduced? Shafi, I'll start with you.
Okay, so I know that we've started. We're getting there. Currently, I know that between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Women Affairs, there are lots of projects that are geared towards encouraging female enrollment. But I also think that the private sector has a huge role to play. You know, one of the problems that we have in Africa, in Nigeria to be specific, is over-reliance, over-dependency on government, right? So if we keep up with what's going on right now, because I see a lot of initiatives that are geared towards encouraging female enrollment and all of that. So if we keep up on that pace, or even increase the capacity of the private sectors, NGOs, volunteers, I think that if all hands are on deck, we can achieve female enrollment. If you look at where we were a few years back, let's say 10 years ago, and where we are today, the numbers have increased remarkably. So even in the northern states that they keep saying in the north is like that, go back and check the statistics, especially on World Bank portal. You realize that there are some northern states that even have female in school more than the male students, right? So I think that we're getting there. And I also think that rather than just focusing on female enrollment, how about we just empower everyone? Because in the name of trying to encourage female enrollment, we'll get to a stage where we have a lost generation of male, so that you have more females going to school and then less male, and then we still have to now start fighting again. So I think that the focus should be on encouraging, yes, the female gender to enroll, but also making sure that the male gender stays within the education system. But I think we're getting there to a large extent.
Interesting. We'll talk about digital shortly. But Rita, it's not enough to say we want to encourage women, we want to support women, we want to love women and all. The question is, how does the woman want to be loved? How does the woman want to be taken care of? How does she want to be encouraged?
Thank you very much. You know, one of the speakers says that he thinks women are not ready. While he was saying that, I was just like nodding my head to affirm what he said, because women don't really know they are. Most women, I know what I'm saying, because it's the same woman that you are trying to help, it's the same woman that will kick against you as the woman. It's the same woman that will name tag you. As a woman, you are trying to make this woman to be aware of who she is, what she have, and what she can possibly become. And the same woman that is saying, yeah, giving you some unpleasant body gesture and physical verbal words that you'll be like, what? Just like when Christ, I'm a Christian, I'm sorry to say that, when Christ came to help redeem people, it's the same people he came to redeem were actually casting the spurs on him. So that's just the ignorant level of the women. The women, the self-worth of a woman need to come up again. And there is no one that can do that for a woman except the woman accept that, look, I need to change, unlearn myself, I need to relearn myself, I need to know who I am and what I have, my potentials. How do I bring it to the world? How do I bring it to the table beyond me giving birth? How do I bring it to the table beyond my beauty? Because the woman just feel, most women have this idea that they use what they have to get what they want. I work in the field, so when I'm talking, I talk on a very practical way, because I'm talking with what I've experienced with them. So what they understand there is their beauty, their manipulative way of doing things can actually get the woman, the man to do whatever they want. Every woman have that. Every human being have it. Depends on how you train yourself to be better. Why not bring this your potentials of manipulation
and influence?
Yes, and enforce influence, right? And influence and influence and influence yourself first, and make yourself come up to that goal that you are, the diamond that you are. That when you stand up there to talk, you are bringing solution. You are bringing ideas. You are bringing innovations. You are influencing in the technology world, in the educational world, in the social world, in every sphere of life. You have something to offer. So the woman, I don't believe it's people that will do that for a woman. I believe it's a woman that should take responsibility to rediscover herself.
Sorry, Prince, can I need to add something to
Go
that.
ahead,
I think that's the role that the mothers play, right? To be sincere, I had someone ask me yesterday and said, why are you like the way you are? You're different from a lot of women. And you know, it made me to think inwards, and I realized that I am the version my mother created. So my mom was an advocate for a long time, from Mariam Abacha. They were singing Better Lives for Women. She has worked in an NGO from 1982 up until now. And so all of these things that they were clamoring, my mother fed them into my ears. I was hearing them, I was living them. I was literally going to the library every day. When during the holidays I would follow her to the office and I feed on the books in their library, and those books were women empowering books, right? So even when we got home, in fact, till today, you remember during coronavirus, there was a Nigerian woman that led a medical doctor that led a protest. My mom sent this and said, this is the kind of woman I like. So you see, even at this age, my mother still has that influence. You know, sending that kind of video or to your child only tells the child, this is the kind of woman I want you to be, right? So I think that's the power that women should have also, mothers should have over their girls, right? When mothers begin to
inspire.
I remember that my mom gave me a story of, my aunt rather, gave me a story of how her mom would make sure she goes to school, and it was more than 5 kilometers, and her mom will walk her with a cane from the house and make sure she gets into the school before she goes back. Now, those were times where women had less opportunities to go to school. But you know, the mother knew the relevance of that, and she ensured that her went to school. And so even when she graduated, even when she had a PhD, she shouldn't have been this, if not for my mother. So I think that mothers have a huge role in first building the self-esteem of their children, building the self-worth of their children, empowering their children to know that I know you can do this, go and do this, and then encouraging and supporting their children to thrive, empower them to understand what they have and even what they can be. And then guess what? Auto suggests. You know, when you're telling a child something, like gradually you're telling the child something until he becomes that thing. I think that's what my mom did with me.
It's a good way to end the conversation. You can hear the passion in her voice there. Award-winning journalist as well as communications and media consultant, Dr. Shafi Bello there, as well as Councillor Rita. Councillor Rita is everything. She's a lot of things as well. That's the power of a woman. A woman can be anything. She can be anything. You see these women, I'm proud of them. Any day, anytime. So I can call on them at any time and say, yo, come and talk to women. Come and talk about this, and let's have this conversation. So yeah, I'm really proud of you. Councillor Rita is an author. You may want to look out for her book and all. She has done a lot, and she mentors more people than you can imagine. Thank you so much, Councillor Rita, for what you do.
Councillor Rita, you know, my social media. So
Councillor Rita, you pay if you do that. Thank you very much. You have to, would have to go now. Thank you, ladies. And thank you to everyone who's been a part of this conversation. It's been quite interesting. And please continue to support women, speak up for women, stand and also respect women in
and
every
thank you
respect.
for encouraging and supporting women. Prince.
What can I do?